Hello my dear friends, I welcome you all in my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn definition and features of a company. So let's start with the definition of a company. According to the Companies Act 2013, Section 2 subsection 20 of the Companies Act 2013 defines the term company as follows. Company means a company incorporated under this act or under any previous company law. Very simple definition has been given in the Companies Act. Company means a company incorporated under this act. Under this act means the present Companies Act 2013 or under any previous company law. It means prior to the Companies Act, New Companies Act 2013, there was a previous Companies Act, the Companies Act 1956. So prior to that, so many company acts prior to independence, like the Regulation Act 1773, the Regulating Act of 1773 was enacted as a first step to regulate the working of the East India Company, that is prior to independence during the British ruling. Then these acts were amended and changed. Then Charter Act of 1853, it was enacted. This act was a further extension of the control of the British government over the company's affairs. Then the Government of India Act 1858, 1919, 1935, but after independence, the Companies Act 1956 was enacted. So in the definition it is given, company means a company incorporated under this act. It means all those companies which are registered under the Companies Act 2013 or under any previous company law. Previous company law means all these acts or companies which are registered as per these acts, that is before and after independence till 1956. So very simple definition, you can remember, company means a company incorporated under this act or any previous company law. It again means every company must be registered either according to the Companies Act 2013 or any of the previous Companies Acts. Got it? Now we will see the another definition given by Professor L.H. Haney. He has defined the company. A company is an artificial person created by law, having a separate entity with a perpetual succession and common seal. Very simple and illustrative definition has been given by Professor L.H. Haney, and according to him, company is an artificial person created by law. Because every company must be registered as per the Companies Act. Having a separate legal entity, company has a separate legal entity. It means it has a distinct entity apart from its members, with a perpetual succession, that is indefinite period of life. It has no natural death, and a common seal. If we analyze this definition, we will get the features of the company. Then we can understand clearly the definition of a company. If we analyze this definition, a company is an artificial person you can say the first feature of the company, it is artificial person. Then created by law, it means company must be registered in the eyes of law. Then separate legal entity, perpetual succession, common seal. So these are the features of the company. We will see one by one the features of the company. The first feature of the company is an incorporated association. It is an artificial person which has a separate legal entity and perpetual succession and common seal. So this is an analysis of the definition given by the Professor L.H. Hannay. Further, we can say certain features, that is a separation of ownership and management, limited liability and transferability of shares. We will see all these features one by one in detail. The first feature of the company is incorporated association, that is body corporate. A company needs to be registered under the Companies Act 2013. Prior to 2013, there were certain companies which are registered as per the Indian Companies Act 1956. So any type of company, whether it is a private limited company or public limited company or any other company, must be registered. So every company is an incorporated association, that is registered. Incorporated means registered. Second feature, company is an artificial, that is juristic person. In the eyes of law, it is treated as a person, artificial person. We have already seen types of person in accountancy subject, that is natural person and artificial person. All human beings are the natural person. Mr. Mahesh, Mr. Deshpande, Mr. Kale. So these are the natural persons. And in case of artificial person means a person which is created by law. How law creates the company? So all artificial persons, that may be the school, college, partnership firm, joint stock company, trust, society, hospital, corporation. So all these entities must be registered with the respective registering authority. It means partnership firm must be registered with the registrar of partnership. Company must be registered with the ROC, registrar of companies. Trust must be registered with the charity commissioner. So artificial person means a person created by law. It means when these companies registered with the registrar of a company, we can say this is an artificial person, just like human being. Why it is called as an artificial person? Because these persons, artificial persons, can own property in their name. For example, CG, Crompton Greaves is the company. So as all human being can purchase any property, maybe the land, building, motor car, etc. Similarly, artificial person, that is company, can also acquire property in its own name and not in the name of the managing director or manager of the company. Second, company can sue and can be sued by others. If anything happened, then company can file a suit in the court of law. If any person or any company is making harm to the property of the company, then company has a right to file a suit in the court of law. Like we all human beings we can enter into the contract. It means we can purchase any property, we can sell any property, we can make a contract for construction of the building. Similarly, companies, artificial persons, can also enter into the contract. We people also open savings account in the bank. Similarly, company can open current account in the bank in its own name. So these are the 4 features of the artificial person. That is why we can say company is a artificial and juristic person. Next feature of the company, it is a separate legal entity. A company exists as a separate legal entity which is different from its shareholders and members. In this graphical representation, you can see on the left hand side here is the company and on the right hand side here are the shareholders. So shareholders invest their money into the company. But even though shareholders invest their money, company after its registration got the separate legal entity. In the eyes of law, the law treats company being a separate person. Due to these features, shareholders can enter into the contract with the company and can also sue the company and be sued by the company. So due to this separate legal entity, various parties, they are ready to give the credit to the company. Bank provides loan to the company. Creditors provides goods on credit to a company because company has a separate legal entity. It means in the eyes of law, company is treated as a separate person apart from their shareholders and members. 4th feature of the company is a perpetual succession. The company, being an artificial person established by law, perpetuates to exist regardless of the differences in the membership. In simple words, a company is an artificial person, therefore it doesn't have any restriction on the age. It has a long life. It has no natural death. The factors like death, insolvency, retirement or insanity of one or all of the members do not make impact on the status of the company. So what do you mean by perpetual succession? Perpetual succession means very long life, indefinite period of life. Suppose one company has been registered in the year 1960. So one cannot say it has a life of 50 years or 60 years. We all know a famous company, Reliance Industries Limited. Who was the founder? Yes, Dhirubhai Ambani. He was the founder of the company. Even after the death of Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani, the company goes to be continued. It means the death of any shareholder or any member will not make impact on the status of the company. So perpetual succession means indefinite period of life. Okay. Next feature of the company, it's a common seal. In case of natural person, you and me, we can make a signature on a contract agreement. But the firm, being an artificial entity, artificial person, and therefore artificial person cannot sign. It creates the necessity of a common seal. So that is why it was in need. The artificial person, instead of making a signature, it should have a seal, common seal. Common seal that can be used for representing the decision which is made on behalf of the company. We all know shareholders elects their representatives in the annual general meeting as the board of director. These board of directors take decision, and on behalf of all the shareholders, board of directors, managing director of the company makes various contracts, and on these contracts the signature along with the common seal is very important. So without common seal the contract is meaningless. So whenever managing director or general manager of the company makes signature on any paper, any contract, it must have a common seal. So common seal may comprises the name of the company, address of the company, registration number of the company. So this is a specimen of common seal that you can see. Another feature of the company, it is a separation of ownership and management. We all know, again, shareholders appoints the board of directors in the annual general meeting, and these board of directors employ various employees for running the business, managing the business. A company is not run by the members but by their elected representatives, which is called as board of directors or directors. A member has no right to participate in the day-to-day management, day-to-day affairs of the company. Yes, they can take decision, but in annual general meeting they elect representatives, said board of directors. So there is a separation of the ownership. Who are the real owners? Shareholders, equity shareholders, preference shareholders, they are the owners. And who are the management? The representatives elected by the shareholders, they are the management. But board of directors, even though are managing the company, they are not coming daily in the company. So they appoint managing director, various managers like marketing manager, purchase manager, sales manager, factory manager. So these employees, workers, they manage the company. So there is always separation of the ownership and the management of the company. Another feature of the company is a limited liability. We all know that the word limited is suffixed, that is, after the name of the company, it is written LTD, limited. So what do you mean by limited liability? As the company exists as a separate legal entity, members of the company are not liable for the debts of the company. Suppose Mr. X has purchased 100 shares of 10 rupees each. How much he has invested? Rupees 1000. It means his investment is 1000. So the liability of the member of a company is limited to the extent of the shares that he has held by, or by the extent of the guarantee which he has given. We will see in the next lecture types of shares. So limited liability means if a person has invested only 1000 rupees in the public limited company, and if in case anything happened and company is going in the liquidation, how much money that person can lose? How much he has to pay? That is maximum to 1000 rupees. It means the personal property of the shareholder will not be utilized to pay off the business debt, business liability. I think you have already learned limited and unlimited liability in 11th and 12th standard. In case of the sole trader and partnership firm, the liability of sole trader and partners, it is unlimited. If business is suffering from continuous losses, then personal property of the sole trader can be utilized. to pay off the business debt. But in case of the company, limited company, the liability of a member is limited to the extent of his investment. And the last feature of the company, it is a transferability of shares. We will see in the lecture various types of company, but basically two companies you must know, that is a private limited company and public limited company. What is private limited company? What is public limited company? What the Companies Act is defining these companies, we will see in the separate video. Shareholders of a public limited company can freely transfer their share as per the rules which are laid down in the Articles of Association. In the current age, if you have a demat account, you can directly buy and sell the shares. However, in case of a private limited company, there might be some restrictions on the transfer of shares. Usually, the shares of the private limited company is not easily transferable without the consent of all other members. But the shares of public limited company are freely and easily transferable. Any person can anytime sell the shares. If he has demat account, he can directly sell himself or with the help of share broker. Now we can again see the definition given by Professor Hannay. A company is an artificial person created by law, having separate legal entity with a perpetual succession and common seal. So every company is an artificial person which is created by law. Company has a separate legal entity with a perpetual succession, that is a long life, indefinite period of life, and every company has its own common seal. If you have any questions, then you can freely ask. You can give your suggestions. You can send your comments directly on my email or in the YouTube. Thank you all of you.